What India needs to know about protein supplements, but more importantly, what Indian parents need to know about protein supplements. Firstly, they will not harm your child's health. Secondly, they will help your child put on lean muscle mass and burn off fat at the same time. They might even help your child grow taller. And for you yourself, if you start using protein supplements, they might help you lose a little bit of weight, get to your fitness goals, but more importantly, they might help you get to your health goals. Now, I understand that as a parent, you're looking out for your child's best interest. You're not allowing your child to use these gym supplements because you think that it might harm your child's health. But before coming to conclusions and putting down rules on paper for your child, you need to do research and get into the deep science of protein supplements. Now, what really hurts me as a fitness coach and influencer is that there are some doctors in our country, not all, but some doctors who tell all their patients to stay away from protein shakes because those protein powders might harm your kidneys. Now, I'm from a family full of doctors and I respect doctors for what they've studied, for how long they studied their subject, but most importantly because it's the most noble profession in the world. But keeping all this in mind, you need to understand that doctors see their patients with a view to treating their disease, not from a positive health and fitness perspective. So there are doctors who haven't adequately read up about the use of protein supplements, what goes into making a protein supplement, the advantages and disadvantages of using protein supplements, and most importantly, who should be taking them and who shouldn't be taking them. That's what we're going to address in today's video, because keep in mind that a lot of Indian parents are influenced by their family doctors. And if the family doctors don't know enough about this one small subject in this vast world of health, that has an effect on the life of a child who's trying to take up a fitness lifestyle. So let's dive straight and deep into the science of protein supplements. The most commonly used form of a protein supplement is whey protein. And the primary raw material for whey protein is this. It's a jar of whey. When you're making paneer from milk, this is the byproduct that you get. So every time you're trying to make paneer from milk, it's separated into the solid part, the casein, that's the paneer, and this whey. Now this whey is basically put through a process called microfiltration, where the solids are separated from the liquid part of whey. And the solids are what are used as the raw material to make whey protein. So if you're someone who's consumed milk at any point in your life, you've already consumed a form of whey protein. That's all this is. It's a concentrated form of milk that's very high in protein content, and it's a very good quality protein. That's the first thing that Indian parents need to know. Whey protein is just a form of dairy. Now this raw material, this whey protein, is then purified further. Flavors are added to it, and that's put into boxes, and those boxes are sold to you as protein shakes. But unfortunately, a lot of people associate the process of weight training and gymming with bodybuilders who use anabolic steroids. Now, anabolic steroids are synthetically developed substances. They're made in labs, and those substances can harm your health. So a lot of people mix up whey protein, which is just a derivative of milk, with something like anabolic steroids, which is a much more serious substance that can harm your health. Now, who should be consuming protein supplements? The short answer is anyone who does any form of physical activity. The age doesn't matter, your gender doesn't matter. What you need to understand is that if you're someone who's just sitting at home every day, watching TV and not keeping your body active, firstly, that's horrible for health. And secondly, you might be able to hit your protein goal for the day through your home food. But if you're someone who's into any kind of physical activity, whether that's walking, running, swimming, or most importantly, gymming, where your protein requirement is way more than an average person, you need to use something like protein shakes to help hit that protein goal every single day. Especially if you're a teenager, you need to understand that your protein requirement is higher than the average person. So protein shakes will benefit you in putting on lean muscle as well as growing taller. But secondly, also if you're someone who's just taken up the process of weight training or taken up a new exercise regime, your body needs more protein than someone who's been in that exercise regime in the long term. So for any newbies or anyone who's under the age of 21, protein shakes should be your go-to. Also keep in mind, protein supplements are perfectly safe even if you're a girl. It's not going to make you put on weight, it's not going to make you bulky, but it will help you burn off fat. If you want to know more, check out the TEDx talk I did a while back. But coming back to today's video, protein requirements. Modern day research tells us that you need 0.8 grams to 2.7 grams per kg of body weight. So even if you're a 70 kg man, you need about 56 grams of protein, and that's way more protein than we get through our daily Indian diet. Contrary to popular belief, dal isn't enough protein, and in order to hit our protein goal, we need to be consuming eggs or paneer or chicken or soya chunks with every single meal almost, at least a small portion. But in most Indian houses, we don't do that, and that leads to a lot of long-term health problems. That's why something like protein shakes can benefit your health in a huge way in the long term. Now, some people might argue that they don't need protein shakes to hit their daily protein requirements, and this is a fair argument, especially if you're a non-vegetarian, and if you're eating eggs or chicken or meat or fish with every single meal, you might be able to hit your protein goal without the use of protein supplements. But hitting your protein goal easily isn't the only advantage of using whey protein. The other big advantage is the biological value of whey protein. Now, what's the bio value, the BV? So the BV scale is a scale used to rate proteins. It represents how well your body will absorb a particular protein and use it to build lean muscle mass. Now, the BV scale was made using whole organic eggs as a reference, and that's placed at 100. But in the modern day, we only have access to processed eggs, and they're rated at about 94. Beef is rated at about 74 and fish is rated at about 76. But whey protein, on the other hand, is rated at about 96. That puts it at a better BV value than all these other protein sources, and that's why it's very beneficial for someone who's trying to build lean muscle mass. And keep in mind, by lean muscle mass, I don't mean bodybuilder muscle. I mean muscle mass just to stay healthy. And the other huge advantage of protein shakes is that they're very convenient to get to your protein goal. Why? Because every single protein shake has at least 25 grams of protein. That's the equivalent of 4 whole eggs. So instead of having a 4-egg omelette, you're just consuming protein shake, you're drinking it and getting all that protein in one shot. Very useful for working professionals and students. But enough with the advantages, it's also important to talk about the disadvantages of using whey protein. A lot of people think that by consuming whey protein, you're automatically causing your body to create kidney stones inside your kidneys. The science of kidney stones is that they're formed because of a high uric acid level in your bloodstream. Now, yes, protein does play a role in increasing the level of uric acid in your bloodstream, but you can counter that by consuming a lot of water. As long as your water intake is in place, you're not going to have a high uric acid level in your bloodstream. Now, keep in mind, if you consume chicken or eggs or paneer all day and then you consume protein shakes, and along with that, you're also dehydrated most of the time, you're not giving your body enough fluid to flush out all that excess uric acid. And that's what leads to the formation of kidney stones in the long term. So anyone who uses protein shakes but is dehydrated most of the time, or who drinks a lot of alcohol, or who consumes a lot of diuretics, those are the people who are more prone to the formation of kidney stones. So take care of your hydration levels. How do you take care? You just look out for the color of your urine. If your urine is clear most of the time, you're in the safe zone. And the second disadvantage of using protein shakes, and keep in mind there's no scientific research or backing behind this claim, but some dermatologists do believe that protein shakes have a role to play in the development of adult acne. So if you're a teenager or if you're in your early 20s, some people get acne breakouts after they start using protein shakes. There's no research that says that there's a one-to-one link between whey protein and adult acne, but there is research that shows a one-to-one link between the use of excess dairy and adult acne. And at the end of the day, protein shake is a very concentrated form of dairy. So if you're someone who gets a lot of acne breakouts and you can't figure out why you're getting acne breakouts, maybe quitting protein shakes for a while might be your solution. But coming back to talking about today's video. Now, as usual, people have a lot of these FAQs when it comes to protein shakes, and that's what we're going to be addressing right now, super fast. When and how should I consume protein shakes? If you're just someone who's consuming 1 scoop of protein, have it immediately after your workout with water. But if you can consume 2, go for it. You can consume it for breakfast or just before bedtime with milk or curd. Do I consume them on days I don't exercise? Yes, absolutely, because irrespective of your activity level, if your goal is to build lean muscle mass, your protein requirement every single day stays the same. Should I use protein shakes if I'm someone who doesn't gym and if I'm someone who just wants to lose weight? Yes, you may, especially if you can't hit your protein requirements with your everyday food. Also keep in mind that if you do any kind of physical activity, you need to back that up with enough protein. The more protein you add to your diet, the more lean muscle mass you'll build, and the more lean muscle mass you'll build, the higher your metabolism gets. Can I buy a box of protein shakes once and then never use it again? Yes, you may, because initially when you just start out on your weight training journey, you do need that little extra bit of protein when compared to someone who's been weight training for a longer time. Even if you're a teenager, remember that little extra bit of protein might actually help with your overall growth. But in saying all this, I feel like if you're going to start using protein shakes, the best results will come after a year or two of consistently using it. So look at protein shakes from a budget perspective. Try investing in a good quality protein that you can afford to buy every 3 months or so. What's a good price in India? About 5,000 rupees. Around that range, that's a good price of proteins. Go for something like that and try using it in the long term. Ranveer, tell me some good brands of protein shakes. In no order of preference, On or Muscle Blaze or Ultimate Nutrition. They're 3 reputed brands that taste delicious and it's very good quality protein. What about whey protein isolates? Isolates are slightly purer versions of whey protein concentrates. They're lower on carbs and calories when compared to the concentrates. So if you're someone who's on keto or if you're on a low calorie diet, isolates can become your go-to, but keep in mind they're slightly more expensive. Are you 100% sure that this is safe for me? Yes, protein shakes are completely safe for you unless you've had some kind of very serious kidney damage in the past. So in all other situations, especially if you're a young gymmer who's trying to convince their parents to let them use protein shakes, go and show them this video. And if you're a parent watching this, I hope I helped educate you a little more about this very vast, very detailed topic. Remember, if you want to know a little bit more about protein shakes, about how to select a protein shake, make sure you watch the video I did on the best possible protein shake in India. Either way guys, if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up, show it to as many people as you can. And until next time guys, from Ranveer, see you.